Good morning, my name is Joe Costantino. I'm the owner-broker of Costantino Realty Group. I'm also the chairperson of the Public Relations Task Force. Today, I come to you to speak on behalf of the Public Relations Task Force about an exciting new initiative that was passed by the Board of Directors in June, and that is a rebranding of our association. It's a rebranding that's going to take this association in a new direction. So, a couple of things I need to do in order to outline this properly for you. And the first one would be to outline the findings of the Public Relations Task Force. Secondly, I want to outline our recommendations after doing research. And then finally, we want to get your support moving forward so that we can present this in greater detail at the Board of Directors meeting in October. In order for me to do that, though, I need to talk to you about a strategic plan that I was involved in January of 2015. I then want to talk to you about our Public Relations Task Force, what our mission was, what the members were. I want to talk to you about our research and findings. And then finally, I want to make recommendations that were based upon all the research that we did. So in the beginning, there was a strategic planning meeting that was held in January of 2015, headed by Roger Turcotte. It was a 2-day session. It involved realtors, it involved staff members, and there's 3 areas that I want to focus on that were important to the rebranding part of this proposal. So first, we were asked to develop a mission statement for PASS. Secondly, we went through a SWOT analysis, and I'll explain what a SWOT analysis is in a minute. Then we developed goals and objectives for this to advance the strategic plan and to advance what we're doing at PASS. So the mission that we came up with at the strategic planning session was the mission of the Plymouth and South Shore Association of Realtors is to provide its members the resources in partnership with the Massachusetts Association of Realtors and the National Association of Realtors to deliver the highest level of professional and ethical services to all. So that's the mission we developed. We then went through a detailed SWOT analysis. And for those that aren't familiar with a SWOT analysis is an acronym for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And I want to address strengths and weaknesses right now. Important to note, strengths and weaknesses are things that are internal to our association. It's the things that we do well, and it's also the things that maybe we don't do so well. So based upon some of the surveys that were conducted with our members, the strengths of our organization, a couple that came right to the forefront was, number one, the staff. The members looked at the staff as being very responsive to their needs, very helpful, very friendly. So that was one of the strengths. Another strength was the fact that we have a strong budget. That was looked at as very important. And then finally, a very important thing and a strength that was outlined by our members was the educational opportunities that exist at PASS. Now, I've been involved in a lot of associations, and I can't think of any other association that I've been part of that offers its members the educational opportunities that exist here at PASS. So those were the strengths. Now, along with the strengths, there are some weaknesses. And one of the weaknesses that came across very clearly was the members felt that our communications weren't strong and that they really weren't sure what our value proposition is. Now, as I go through this a little bit more detail, I'm going to tell you what a value proposition, but just for now, a value proposition is the promise that we provide to our members about what we're delivering to them in exchange for their hard-earned money. So that was a weakness that came through. Another weakness was, and you folks already know this, is that our website was outdated, our technology was updated, our email programs were outdated, and our software programs were outdated. That was something that came across very clearly. And so we focused on some key result areas, and there was 2 that the strategic planning session really focused on that we were going to look at a little bit deeper. One of them was Objective 13, and that was to maximize technology resources to better serve as members. And again, it's important to note that that came from the surveys. And the second objective was Objective 16. That was to develop branding that accurately defines services offered in geographic areas supported. So key result areas are those things that are most important to an organization or an association going forward and are going to have a substantial impact on that association. Okay, so that's important to remember because that is how the strategic planning group was formed. And our mission was to focus on those two key objective areas to come up with a new direction. So I want to talk a little bit about the membership of the PR task force members. And it's important to note, as some of you folks may know, a task force is quite a bit different than a committee. A task force is assembled for specific purposes. And so our specific purpose was to address those key result areas. So the Public Relations Task Force was chosen very carefully. We tried to get people that had marketing, public relations, design, or communications background. There were a total of 8 members. They represented staff, realtors, broker owners, and affiliate members. And the chairperson was me. Other members were Rachel Tristano, Jean Sautel, Ed Metro, Jane McGowan, Janet Murray, Bob Gleason, and Ellen Johnson. So those were the members. And what we went through a very painstaking research. Now this started in 2015 and went right through the middle of 2016. So our research included 19 months of work. We reviewed surveys that were put forth by PASS, by the Mass Association of Realtors, and also by the National Association of Realtors. We interviewed other associations who have already gone through this process. We didn't want to reinvent the wheel. We wanted to talk to those folks that have already gone through a rebranding initiative. We researched firms that specialize in branding, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. We used our collective experience, which in my mind there was about 175 years of experience if you added everybody together, and so that's a lot of experience. And we completed an association evaluation called the 19 questions that every rebrand needs to ask. And then finally, on June 17th, as I mentioned earlier, we presented our findings to the board of directors and they approved what we came up with. So let's talk a little bit about the findings. First, we found that the current name was too long. And we looked at other associations, for example, like Florida, which is called Florida Realtors. We also found that the current name is difficult to remember. We found that the name Plymouth and South Shore Association of Realtors doesn't accurately define our geographic territory and is confusing to its members. We found that the name implied that we're based in Plymouth, and obviously we're not. And the acronym PASS didn't relay any promise or message to help define what the association did or who it serviced. We also found that the PASS logo is outdated and doesn't deliver on our promise. And then we found that, as we discussed a little bit earlier, and as most of you already know, that the website was not an asset for its members. And this becomes really important when we start talking about the millennium demographic. The folks in the millennium demographic demand good technology and websites that work and email programs that work, and they want ease of use. And our website right now is not constructed that way. So those were our findings. And we concluded that we needed to do a rebrand. So we needed to go from the old and take it to the new. And so in order to understand what a rebrand is, you actually need to understand first what a brand is. So a brand is a whole bunch of things. It's an attribute, it's an identity, it's the way a company or an association is positioned in the marketplace, it's the value that a company or association offers to its members. And a brand, if we want to put it in more technical term, is a set of marketing and communication methods that help to distinguish an organization from its competitors and create a lasting impression in the minds of their customers. This is the one I really like and I use. A brand is the mental space a person, company, or organization occupies in the minds of their customers, competitors, and stakeholders. If we look at some of these, you'll just, to yourself, maybe ask, what space does Starbucks hold in your mind? Sometimes a brand doesn't even need a name after it for you to know who it is. Another one, Dunkin' Donuts. What is the thoughts when you think of Dunkin' Donuts? And brands can actually be people. So what does this gentleman get you thinking about? What does this lady get you thinking about? So a brand is all those things. So let me get into a little bit more about what makes a brand. So anything visual that represents the association. It could be your logo, It could be the name. It could be stationery, letterhead, business cards, envelopes. It could be any type of marketing collateral, such as flyers, your website, your social media sites. It could be the signs on front of the building. Again, we come back to that word, come back to the website. It's the communications that you deliver to your members. It's your promise to your members. That's one of the most important parts of a brand. What is the promise that you deliver to your members? So now we get into, we know what a brand is. What is a rebrand? A rebrand is a strategy. It's a specific strategy in which a new name, term, symbol, design, or combination is created for an established brand with the intention of developing a new, differentiated identity in the minds of your consumers, competitors, and other stakeholders. We want to take the old and we want to turn it into the new. Doesn't mean you throw everything out, but we're going to improve upon it. So we went through a very systematic process over those 19 months that I just mentioned. And when you do things systematically like we did when we first started, I thought this was going to be an impossible thing to get accomplished. But we developed a very systematic process. We looked at and contacted and interviewed a number of firms. We talked to Arnold Worldwide, and Arnold Worldwide becomes important in this conversation because Arnold Worldwide is now doing the National Association of Realtors marketing campaign. You know, the Got Realtor campaign that you now might see in some of the television commercials. So we thought they were critical to talk to in order to get this thing moving forward. We thought we could build upon some of what they've done at the national level. We get to the point where we talked to many firms, but then we selected 5 firms that we actually wanted to bring into us to do formal presentations. And we did this over a number of weeks. And after they came in and did their presentations, we asked for written proposals. And then we took the 2 that we liked the most, that we thought aligned with our philosophy the best, that did the most research, they offered the most information. We then voted on 2 finalists. And our recommendation was a company called Blue Rudder. Blue Rudder is run by Stu Copperrider and Bill Tomlinson. Why Blue Rudder? Well, a couple of reasons. First of all, they were highly recommended by Arnold Worldwide. Not only were they highly recommended, both folks actually worked, among other places, worked for Arnold Worldwide. They also worked for places like Hill Holliday, Young Rubicam. They were involved in a number of different industries, which was very attractive to the board members. They were involved in tourism, banking, publishing, retail technologies, and packaged goods. That was attractive to us. They worked for companies and had clients that ran the gamut. Again, it was very diverse. Sprint, United Way, Foxwoods Casinos, Cape Cod Maritime, Department of Public Works. They were local. That was important to us. We wanted someone we could just contact, we could meet with on a regular basis as required. And they actually, one of the things that was the most attractive to us, they actually did the work. They did the research. They provided us with a very comprehensive quote when they came in and spoke to us. They were well prepared. They were most prepared out of any of the people we talked to. And they were very accommodating because we did go back and forth with them to negotiate a budget, a more aggressive budget that fit what we wanted to pay for. So why now? We talked a lot, and I think you folks know the challenges we have with our website and the technology as it exists right now. So it doesn't make any sense from a perspective of trying to take the piece of the website and the technology without doing the whole thing, because you'll end up spending twice or maybe even more than twice the amount of money if you did them separately. When you do a rebrand, the rebrand involves everything. It involves your website, it involves technology, because the pieces have to fit together. So the most important reason why now was that we had to take care of the whole ball of wax. Also, we wanted to, and we will be prepared to present this at the October annual meeting. And for a second, I want to revisit the SWOT analysis. Remember, we talked about SWOT as being strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We talked earlier about strengths and weaknesses. Now I want to talk a little bit about opportunities and threats that show that now is the time to do this. So opportunities and threats are things that are outside the association. So the first one, opportunities, was we need to stay relevant with our present client base. Our present client base is demanding that we have 21st century technology, a 21st century website. They want ease of use. They want to be able to go on the website and find things quickly and easily. And I think all of us will agree that is not the case right now. Secondly, I think we have a tremendous opportunity in this organization, in this association, to attract folks that are non-realtors, the people that haven't seen the value in becoming realtors. So I think once we do this rebrand, we're going to have a value promise that shows people that aren't realtors why they should become to realtors. I think that's a very important reason. And then finally, we want to be more relevant with the millennials. We want them to, they're a big portion of our base, and we want them to be included on this technology, fast technology, readily available information, so we felt that that was important as well. And then the threat, another big threat, or one of the threats, is inaction. Now is the time to take action on this stuff. So we thought we'd make it very, very simple. We go back to some of the research we did, for example, the state of Florida, and we came up with something very simple for our organization, and it's called the South Shore Realtors. It says what it's supposed to say, and it encompasses our geographical territory perfectly. So to close this out, I wanted to outline our findings, I wanted to outline our recommendations, and finally, I wanted to get your support for the annual meeting. And I'm asking you today to please give us your support in this rebranding proposal that was already approved by the Board of Directors. Thank you for your time. If you have questions, you can email us at innovate@passrealtors.com. Thank you.